Satisfy your need for happiness through your own curiosity with the Ranveer Show. There's so much I want to say about Sita Ma because while we're talking about masculine beauty in that one relationship, Sita Ma for me represents the feminine beauty of life. And do not think that just because you're a guy, you have nothing to gain from Sita Ma's character. 2-3 years ago, if I was doing this exact podcast, I'd say that I can't talk much about Sita Maiya because I'm not a woman myself and I'm not completely able to empathize with her perspective and what she went through, even though I view her as my own mother, as my own sister, as a form of my own future wife. That's how I would view Sita Ma 2-3 years ago. And in these 2-3 years, I've met so many spiritual beings through the show, one of which being Shree Ram, who spoke about the process of rebirth. And I'd asked him off camera what the biggest misconception is when it comes to rebirth. And he said that people think that you're always born as the same gender. People believe that you're always born as a male. But the truth is that your soul is born both as a male and a female over many lifetimes because you need to experience both those realities, and they are slightly different realities. There are different kinds of lessons you learn from male existence and female existence. That one thought has not only made me so much more empathetic towards women, but it's also really forced me to deep dive into my own belief system about praying to Kali Ma, about praying to Parvati Ma, about praying to Saraswati Ma, and about understanding Sita Ma. What does Sita Ma represent for me? She represents the basic human feminine value of pure love and nurturing. She represents hope. She represents belief. She had the hope that her husband will be able to come and rescue her. When Hanuman Ji goes to meet her in Lanka, he gets her the ring that Ramji's given him. She understands that yes, her hope actually worked up till this point. And if Hanumanji wanted, he could have taken her with himself and the war could have been avoided. But she had the belief to back the hope that Ramji is going to come to Lanka, defeat Ravan, re-establish Dharma. Because she understood what it's like in a Rakshas Nagari. She saw Ravan up close. She understood the negative presence he had in the world. And she believed enough in her own family, her own partner, her own companion, that he would be the reason that dharma or spirituality or positivity, the rules, the niyams would be re-established. Really trying to understand the relationship of Lord Ram and Sita Ma has taught me so much about the ideal kind of relationship that one should strive for in this era where open marriage is a thing, where divorces are rampant, where people date so many people treat other human beings like options, people cheat on each other, people are dishonest with each other, people lie to each other. There's so much to learn from just studying the relationship of Sita Ma and Shree Ram. I'm still diving much deeper into learning about Sita Ma. But other than hope and belief, the third aspect that she represents for me is love. I want to repeat something that I learned from Ami Ganatra on a fantastic Hindi podcast that we'd done a year ago. In Valmiki's Ramayan, there is a dialogue that Shree Ram tells Ma Sita. The dialogue is the following.
त्वया विना स्वर्गमपि न रोचये, तेरे बिना मुझे स्वर्ग भी नहीं चाहिए.
Without you, I don't even want heaven. If I'm getting heaven, I want you with it. That doesn't just happen. They talk about unconditional love that Shree Ram had for Ma Sita, but it's actually unconditional love that both of them had for each other as an outcome of their relationship, their compatibility, their companionship that gave rise to this kind of pure love. I cannot imagine a better marriage than the marriage of Shree Ram and Ma Sita. I don't want heaven if it's going to arrive into my life if that heaven does not contain your soul. That's the relationship they shared. A relationship is never built out of one person's efforts. It's built out of two people's efforts. That's what Sita Ma is for me. You've got to have your own individual goals. Your partner needs to give you that kind of belief. But at the same time, you've got to have couple goals as well. In my eyes, Ma Sita and Shree Ram They had a collective couple goal of re-establishing dharma, because this is what's beautiful about Sanatan Dharma. They say that in every single universe, Ma Lakshmi becomes Vishnu Bhagwan's companion. As Radha Ma to Krishna, as Sita Ma to Shree Ram, in every single universe, in every single timeline, they're each other's companions. That's how I look at marriage. If you look at it with that kind of spiritual depth, it will give you the kind of love that they speak about in movies. It will change your reality in so many ways. You can call it hormones, you can call it simply a rush of oxytocin. But the truth is that perhaps love is something greater than that. And this is what I've learned from Interstellar, when Anne Hathaway is debating with Matthew McConaughey, and Matthew McConaughey is taking a very modern, dry, detached approach towards love. And he says that, love is probably just hormones. It's a human construct to make life more convenient. And Anne Hathaway says, no. Matthew McConaughey says something along the lines of, and I can't remember the exact dialogue, but it's something along the lines of the fact that love makes your life more convenient. And then Anne Hathaway says, but we have love for the people who've died. How is loving them making our life more convenient? What if love is something we're yet to understand? And yes, I deep dive into the neuroscience and biology of love, and it is related to hormones, but then why would our ancient scriptures celebrate love so much, celebrate romance so much? A detached Sanatani way of looking at it is that the purpose of romance is to teach you to have love for the divine. The love that you feel towards your partner is actually meant to be directed towards the divine, and that's how a lot of monks look at life. But people become monks not in their teenage or their 20s. People become monks before they're born. Some people's lives are meant to go down that path of monkhood and have that perspective on life, that romance-free perspective. And maybe at some point, all of you listeners, in one of your future births, you'll be born as a monk and you'll be able to only focus on your spiritual journey. But now, for most of us, for 99.99% of people listening to this podcast, you're not going to take up monkhood. You're going to crave that sense of love, the kind of love that Shree Ram and Ma Sita shared. If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you, related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.